welcome to the Booktube Birthday Tag. It is officially my Booktube birthday this month, so today I'm going to be doing the Booktube Birthday Tag to celebrate, so let's just get right into the questions. Question number 1 is, how many years on Booktube are you celebrating? And this year will be my 9th year, which is ridiculous to think about in a lot of ways because it doesn't feel like that long in some ways, but in others it feels like I've been doing this for decades. So it's a bit of a weird one, but it has actually been 9 years. Question number 2 is, what keeps you motivated to carry on making videos? And for me, there are 2 reasons. The first one is the fact that this keeps me motivated to carry on reading my TBR and hold me accountable to reading my TBR, because if I didn't have Booktube, I would most likely be spending half my time on AO3 instead of actually reading the books on my TBR. So the fact that I've got this actually sort of makes me go, wait, I do need to be focusing on my books, not just on AO3 and Marvel Unlimited. And then also because this is actually part of my routine now, I know that one day a week, usually on like a Wednesday or something, for example today is actually a Friday because it's the only day I've had to actually film, but usually I will sit down one day a week, usually at the beginning of the week, and I will film a video, and then on Sunday I know I'm going to be editing it, and then on Monday I'm going to be uploading it, and I have that routine set out, and that is basically just part of my week now. It's part of the things I do every single week, and that keeps me motivated because it is literally just part of my routine, and it means I'm going to be doing it. So that's kind of also how I've carried on making videos so consistently over the last 9 years. I thought I could make this video without the fan going, but it is baking in here, so I've just had to turn it on, so apologies if you can hear that. But anyway, question number 3 is your 3 favourite videos you've made in the last year. First up, it has to be my villains reading vlog, which I so love making because I love morally great villainous characters, and these books absolutely delivered on that vibe and gave me new books that I absolutely adored, and then authors I want to check out more from, and just generally was a really fun time to make and read and everything else. I had a fantastic time with that one. I'd also say my TBR Assemble videos, because I love making TBR Assemble every month and figuring out what prompts I'm going to be getting and what books I'm going to be reading for those prompts. I love the mystery of it and sort of like the unpredictability of it, because I never know what genre I'm going to land on or what prompt I'm going to be pulling, so I absolutely love making those videos. And then finally, also I've got to say my Cardiff birthday vlog, because I had such a fun time in Cardiff. I went down there for my 30th in March and just had a brilliant time looking around the shop, seeing McFly again, which is always one of my favourite things to do and a fantastic way to finish off my 20s, because it was literally the last night of my 20s that I went to go see them again, and I had a great time with that. It was possibly one of the greatest gigs I have ever been to, so that was fantastic. But I also just loved Cardiff in general. I loved the shopping, I loved the area, I loved exploring, and I loved capturing that in a vlog as well. So I'm definitely saying that that is also one of my favourites that I've made in the past year. I'm just going to jump in as editing me, because it turns out question 4 did not actually record, and I'm going to blame the fact that it is incredibly hot right now, and I think my phone overheated and just went, no, not filming it. So I'm going to film it again now and hope for the best. But anyway, it was question number 4, which is, what have you struggled with on Booktube in the last year, and how did you overcome that struggle? And I could say that my mum has now retired, so I could say that because it means that that is really cut into my reading time and also my video making time. But what I'm actually going to talk about is the problem that I've been having for the last 3 years, I think it is, and that is the fact that I have really struggled to talk on camera for the last few years. What ends up happening is, as soon as I turn on the camera, and this could be to film a video for YouTube, for this channel or my comic book channel, or just for like TikTok, Instagram Reels, anything like that, and what ends up happening is that my ability to speak just seems to dissipate, and I will get halfway through a sentence and I will just stop for some reason and won't be able to carry on, and I'll have to restart the sentence and try again. Or sometimes I will just say the complete wrong word in the middle of the sentence and then have to start again. Or I will pronounce something so unbelievably wrong it doesn't even sound like the word it's meant to be. That happens quite often, and things like this. And this would be happening the whole way through making a video, and would happen so often that it would take me 2 hours to film a video. And when I edited that down, it would be 5 minutes long, 10 at the most, 15 on the absolute outside. And it would be taking me 2 hours to make that video. And it was so frustrating and everything else that it made me angry. And I don't just mean a little bit angry. I mean I would be hulking out by the end of this because I would be so angry with myself because I couldn't talk. And it would only happen when the camera went on. If I'm just talking to like my mum, for example, friends in real life, family, whatever, I can talk for England, it's absolutely fine. Usually around midnight, I get really chatty for no apparent reason, and I will be going for 40 minutes. No problem whatsoever. Camera turns on, absolutely not happening. I can get through about 3 sentences and it stops working. The irony is that this is actually working and I've been talking for nearly 3 minutes now and I'm still absolutely fine. The irony of that. To be talking about this and my struggles, and now it's working. But anyway, this has been happening for like 3 years and it has been getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and I had no idea what was going on for the last few years. I haven't known what's been going on, and I only really figured it out in like March, April time. Before then I had no idea what was going on, and I was getting to that point where I was genuinely considering quitting this channel because I couldn't take the anger anymore, because obviously if you stop then you've got to reset the camera again and you've got to try and make sure it's in the right angle and everything else. Or if I did carry on, I would start out really perky, and you can probably actually tell this from my videos, but I would start out really perky, full of the joys of spring, very happy, and then I'd get to the end of the video and I would look so unbelievably done and angry, even though I was trying not to. It probably didn't look that fun to watch. It would look like I'd had some kind of like major problem happen in the middle of it, and it would just be the fact that I'd spent so many times going over the same book or the same question or the same topic like 20 times, and I'd just get to that point where I'd just go, it'll do, there's something filmed, it was done, and move on, because I just get that angry and I just want to get the video out. And this was happening for like 3 years, and it's still happening now. The irony is this is still working and I'm still managing to talk pretty well. But I discovered earlier this year, around March, April time I think it was, that what's actually going on with me is autistic burnout, which is something that happens when you are autistic and you've had a lot of stress going on. And I've had a stressful 10 years. My 20s were very stressful for various life stresses and various reasons. There was COVID, which was like the least of my problems, to be honest, and a whole load of other things was going on, and it's just been very stressful, and I think that's caused an autistic burnout. And so essentially it's affected my videos, so I can't talk. And so I was genuinely considering quitting YouTube for a while, and then I found out that what's actually going on is autistic burnout, and how you deal with that is you try and calm down your stress levels, you stick to your routine, and you also spend a lot of time with your special interest because it makes you happy. And what I discovered last May was that after I went to the Thunderbolts premiere and I had that massive high, massive hit of endorphins, dopamine, and it rewrote my brain chemistry and became my special interest, for like 2 months afterwards, I could make 2 videos in 40 minutes instead of 1 video in 2 hours. And I was shocked by that, and then it just went back downhill again. And so what I've done now is I've made a serotonin playlist, because I figured if I have another high of serotonin before I film a video, it'll be easier to film. So I've got this serotonin playlist, which obviously I'm showing you here, and as you can see, it is based around the Thunderbolts. So it is stuff like clips from the movie, edits people have done of the movie, the gag reel, cast interviews, stuff like this, and I will watch one of them before I start filming, and that seems to work. Don't get me wrong, I'm still taking ages to make videos, I'm still struggling over my words, all of this kind of thing. But I'm now taking like an hour to take a 10-minute to make a 10 video. You see, this is where the problems start. I take an hour to make a 10-minute video instead of it being 2 hours for a 5-minute video. So it's not entirely fixed. I don't think it's ever going to be fixed, or at least it's not going to be fixed in the next few years. But at the very least, it has made it marginally easier to make a video. It's not like, I'm not making a video in half an hour or anything else. It's still taking me far too long. I'm still tripping over my words, as you saw there. I'm still stopping in the middle of sentences. I'm still saying the complete wrong word and things like this. But it is a little bit easier, and it is marginally easier. It is not the greatest fix in the world. It's not going to fix everything. It is not helping with the rest of my symptoms. I am still very, very sensitive to noise and heat and everything else, and like outside triggers and things like this. I'm still very, very like sensitive to all of those things, but I can at least make a video in an hour instead of 2 hours, which makes it marginally easier. It's not fixed. I don't think I'm going to overcome this, like I said, in the next sort of year or so, but at the very least I've made it a little bit easier to make a video, at the very least, by watching these videos before I get on and make a video, and hopefully that is going to carry on sticking and it's still going to be working, fingers crossed, until I can actually sort of like sort my brain out and not be in burnout anymore. But we shall see. Either way, that is working for me right now, and I'm going to stop filming at the moment because otherwise I will start really stressing and like saying the wrong thing and everything else. So I'm going to cut it here while it's still going well. Question number 5 is choose one moment from the past year on Booktube that you would love to relive, and I would say reading The Ending Writes Itself in a day, because I haven't done that since V.E. Schwab's Gallant came out. Literally, it's been that long since I read a book in a day, and The Ending Writes Itself arrived at my door. I picked it up, I paused briefly for lunch, and then I started reading again. Then I finished it, looked up and went, oh, it's evening. And I have no idea how that happened. Like, don't get me wrong, there was a lot of factors involved that meant that I could do that, and I would love to do that again, I won't lie, because I don't do that often. I literally, that is a once in a decade, maybe twice in a decade type thing. It does not happen to me that often. It doesn't usually happen at all. It usually takes me 2 to 3 days on average to read a book, in between obviously having to do the cleaning, looking after my mom, going to appointments with her, like cooking dinner, doing the washing, everything else I have to do. So usually I don't have that much time to read in one sitting. And the fact that I managed to do this in a day was absolutely incredible. The book itself was incredible. And if I could have another day like that, I'd be really happy, I wouldn't lie. Question number 6 is shout out a huge supporter of your channel, and I have to say Abby of Pellinor for this, because she comments on every single one of my videos. It doesn't matter if it's on this channel or on my comic book channel, she comments on every single one of them. She also likes all of my blog posts as well when they come out, and it just makes me smile every single time. She comments on everything and I adore her. Thank you so much, Abby, for everything you do and all of the comments you put on there. They make my day every single time. Question number 7 is what is the best book you've read in the last year, and I'm going to say either The Ending Writes Itself or Skullduggery Pleasant, A Soul Full of Shadows. Obviously, I've mentioned The Ending Writes Itself. I read it in a day. It was absolutely incredible. But then Skullduggery, A Soul Full of Shadows had me crying, and that has to be like a major thing that has to go on best books of the year, because I am not a book crier. I'm not generally someone who cries a lot anyway at media, admittedly. I cry at Avengers Endgame from the minute Natasha falls off Vormir, the whole way through until the end. I will sob my heart out through that one. It doesn't matter how many times I see it, I will cry. And then also whenever I hear McFly's The Heart Never Lies live, I will tear up if not start crying. But I'm not generally a book crier. It's not usually something I do. But then this book had me crying nearly 4 times because Derek Landy is an evil genius. I will actually leave a link up above to my reading vlog where I go into full spoilery detail as to why I'm crying. But yeah, it has to be that one as well, because if you make me cry or make me want to cry, you are 100% going on the best books of the year list. Question number 8 is where do you see your channel in a year's time, and what do you hope to have achieved? And at this point I'll be happy if I'm still making videos, because like I said, the burnout is ridiculously difficult to deal with and makes making videos ridiculously hard. So if I'm still making videos this time next year, I'll be happy. I don't really have any kind of improvements I want to be making at this point. I'm just currently focusing on still making videos and trying to improve how I make those videos and making it easier on myself. So if I can find a way to make it easier on myself to make videos, that'd be great. If I don't, and I'm just like making videos still and still having fun with it, fantastic. If the burnout is lifted a little bit, absolutely brilliant. But at the moment, as long as I'm still making videos this time next year, I will be happy. And finally, question number 9 is tag someone whose anniversary is coming up. And to be perfectly honest with you, I've got no idea when anyone's anniversary is coming up. So I'm just going to shout out some of my favourite booktubers to watch. First of all is Abby of Pelennor. If you love fantasy, sci-fi, as well as non-fiction, poetry and classics, definitely check out Abby. She has got recommendations for all of those, and she reads so many books it actually scares me, to be perfectly honest with you. She's got so many recommendations and all of them are fantastic. I would also recommend Hannah from Ladder M as well, because she is an amazing booktuber as well. She reads everything from fantasy to contemporary to gothic. She loves a gothic horror, so if you are a fan of gothic books or horror books actually, definitely check her out. I get all of my horror recommendations from her, so definitely check out Hannah from Ladder M as well. And finally, I'm also going to mention Olivia-Savannah of Olivia's Catastrophe, because while she is not actually making videos anymore, very sadly, she has still left her channel up, and she has got so many amazing recommendations on there, from poetry to contemporary to steamy romance to fantasy to sci-fi to classics to everything in between, children's books all the way up to adult books. She has you covered on every single level, so you should definitely go and check out her channel as well. She's been making videos for like 9 years as well, I think it was. She's been making videos at the very least for a very, very, very long time, and has got a whole load of videos still up that are filled with amazing recommendations. And what I will actually do as well is leave her Instagram as well down below as well, because she's still posting content over there if you want more up-to-date recommendations. So go and show her some love as well, because she is amazing and definitely deserves it, as do all 3 of them. Definitely go and check all of them out, link down below, and show them some love. And that is the end of the Booktube birthday tag. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, tell me when your Booktube birthday is. I'd love to know. Or if you don't have that much time, leave me a cake emoji down below to let me know that you were here. I'll also leave a link as well down below to all my social media if you want to check it out. Or if you just want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here. And over here will be the link to my previous video. But till next time everyone, bye!